Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and all of those of you who are watching. This is the Deborah Show. I am Deborah Faye, and all week long, I have worked so diligently in collaboration with my special guest speaker, Brother Mind Ascension, and it is a hot topic. It is adult content, and it may be a trigger warning topic. And maybe many of my viewers, maybe many of you have chosen to wait until the interview is over rather than join us live and listen and ask questions. Um, there's something about us that uh, Black people, y'all know who I'm talking about, that makes us want to sit back and just wait. Well, I still love y'all. I'm gonna still support you all no
There you
matter
go.
what,
Be the
because
example. There you
because
go.
it's bigger than me. It's
Don't
bigger
let the
than the two
humans turn you
individuals
into
that
a
are
human.
sitting here. So, without further delay, I'm going to give a first an acknowledgement to my sponsoring network, which is the WNT9 network, under the auspices of King Henry. Uh, and also, we are going to be talking about predictability is what makes a man dependable. My special guest speaker, brother, not my nine mind ascension. Look, I'm mess your name up now.
Now you're
Uh,
changing my name up too.
is,
Oh
is,
Lord.
is brother mind ascension. Listen, he's from New York, around that Queens area, correct? And
Yes, ma'am.
he just does everything. He's a spiritual counselor. He's a holistic counselor. He does readings. Brother, he's a self-taught historian. You know what the plus about self-taught historians is that they go all out. They go in deep. He's a deep diver. Okay, so Brother Mind Ascension, without further ado, I'm going to let you come in, tell a little bit more about yourself, give your own style of introduction, and then we're going to get right into this topic.
Well, with all due respect to the Deborah Show, I'm very glad and very grateful and very thankful to be a part of this in our collaboration and our exchange. I'm gonna do this the way I do my YouTube and the way that I present when ain't nobody there anyway. I want to say peace to my 6 to 22 strand 7 to 9 ether, you melanin selenium base, black gods of this planet. I am mine ascension here and happy to be here. Even as I said that, I feel like I was on. Yeah, I feel like I'm back on my YouTube channel. So now and that's great because now the energy needed. But anyway, as Mind Ascension here, and I am an obsessed student of all forms of knowledge from all angles. I am someone who is about expansion and not being limited by anything, especially the ego,
Mhm.
and making sure that I am continuously growing, evolving, expanding, and learning and getting better at.
You just keep
Oh,
you keep doing you.
yeah, I'm like, what just happened? But anyway, yes, growing, expanding, and getting better at not just knowing the self,
Mhm.
but understanding the self,
Mhm.
breaking down the self, rebuilding the self, and then going past the self.
Right.
And I think a lot of times we get trapped in our preferences, we get trapped in our egos, we get trapped in our expectations. And once again, this is the human form. Now, the basis of all of my teachings is about divinity and leaving the imprisonment of humanity. But
Mhm.
I don't want to get too crazy into that because that's not anything to do with the topic. The topic is dealing with something that, in my opinion, is, very human and very understandable, and
Mhm.
something that, as you said before, we have to eliminate the negative connotations attached to that.
Yeah,
I wanted to really redo that. I should have redid that whole thing because that P, I can't believe I missed that P, that extra P. But
that's okay. That is truly okay. And when you, because I have some questions. I mean,
I'm ready for them. I'm ready for
I've
them.
got your post because when I came to your page and I saw that post you made about predictability is what makes a man dependable. As a female, I never would have thought about it.
Mm.
I never would have, even in my own internal self, my mind, never. And I know that that's an important key factor in anyone's personality traits and their value, but especially with men and our Black men. So coming onto your page, I saw that. I was like, what? Let me see what Brother M.A.N Ascension is talking about. Because when a man is giving out information about his own gender, we as females should be all over that, especially if it's going to help us to recognize that particular trait in men on a positive note. Because like I said before, it seems like it has a negative connotation. I have up here from your post why being predictable is actually a great thing according to science. First, people who think of themselves as more predictable and less complex tend to enjoy positive life events more. Talk about that.
Once again, we're getting back to expectations. See, I love this so much because it's really this is the basis of everything I'm here to do, and my purpose is to activate that divinity within you, to peel away those human layers that imprison you based on your expectations, based on what you think is a need, based on what you think is a preference. See, if you notice, the complexity comes from having so many options, so many ideas, so many expectations, so many this and so many that. What makes a man such a perfect tool is his simplicity. And his simplicity is what sets the foundation for his predictability. You know, when you come home, he gonna grab his beer, he gonna take off his work boots, he gonna sit on his favorite chair, and he gonna turn on the game. Predictable. Mm-hmm. You know, when there's a bill due, you know, when there's a problem that needs to be solved, he's gonna knock it out the way and get right back to his business. Predictable. So when we talk about enjoying life and so on and so forth, what we're talking about is not cluttering our mind and cluttering the experiences with all the little things that we have problems with. It's like being with somebody that always has a reason to complain. Mm-hmm. You're out on a beautiful cruise and they're like, oh my God, it's freezing out here. You're out on a beautiful beach. Oh my God, I hate sand. I can't stand sand. You see what I'm saying? So you cannot bask in the beauty of experiences and moments when you have so many different expectations and so many different problems and insecurities and thoughts and randomness inside your head. This is why, once again, the predictability is coming with the simplicity, which is basically the left brain logical aspect of the male and masculine energy. We are so simple. So because we're simple, we don't think about 1,000 ways something could go wrong. And when you're thinking about 1,000 ways something could go wrong, you're destroying the experience and you're turning the experience into a problem. So when you just read that line, by science, those who are predictable seem to enjoy things a little bit more because they seek the simplicity in a situation. I can enjoy a sunset for a sunset. Mm-hmm. I'm not worried if the sunset is going to hurt my eyes, or what I heard last week about sun flares and all that. Certain humans mm-hmm. have a certain brain aspect to where they want to involve everything that's a problem with every situation and experience they have. Therefore, they can never fully enjoy it. Right. And see, it kind of go, and I know, well, men don't really take offense to a lot of it. I never heard a man take offense to this, but this is why I do say men are stupid. And when I say stupid, I'm not meaning that he can't think. I'm not meaning that. And that's another thing. We got to really do our etymology when it comes to these words, because nice means stupid. If you do the etymology of the word nice, it means stupid. It means simpleton. Mm-hmm. So, and if you notice, just to connect things, if you ever met a so-called airhead or whatever, they're usually nice people.
Very.
because they don't have such a mental capacity to try to manipulate you or try to find something wrong with you. If you meet somebody or anybody, you know, I'm just using these as examples, so I don't want anybody to hear this and take it in some weird offense that the human brain usually does. But let's say you meet somebody with a lower mental capacity. They can't find something wrong with everything. They're happiest with the most simple. Oh, perfect example. Use a child. Use a child. Because a child does not desire things until you show it to them, and then they disregard the others. Come on, how many of us growing up could have had fun in a cardboard box and make it into a house?
Mm-hmm.
How many of us took a branch off a tree and turned into an Excalibur sword? It's the simplicity
Yes.
and the lack of expectation. Now you show your damn kid the PS5 and that's all they want now. But if they never saw the PS5, they would be having fun outside playing with rocks in the grass.
Yes. Now let me I know personally I have made the statement, I made a statement to a friend of mine once, male, and we're always laughing back and forth. And I said to him, you know, I text him back something, and then he texted me, and and it went back and forth, and then I stopped and I said, you know, text back. I said, "You're so predictable," and the message came back, "When I want to be." I was like, I didn't mean that in a negative way. Yet it didn't get asked, how do you mean that? So, but the next time I text that individual, I explained that when I say, because we know when the energy shift. When you
Yeah.
say something to somebody and the energy shift,
Mm-hmm.
and based on their response, you know that did not come off right. So the next time I had the occasion to text him, I said, you know, when I say predictability, what I mean is you're so reliable.
Mm.
Okay. I'm very careful when I'm uh, engaging and interacting with Black men because of all the different negative things that have been foisted upon you all, you know, over the centuries, especially
Mm-hmm.
here, especially here in America. So I try to make sure that you don't go off thinking, yeah, she just like the rest of them sisters, and she like, you know, I want my Black men to truly understand that um I'm all about speaking positivity. So I'm really uh willingly, with you being a male, that you will truly help to take the stigma off of the word itself. Predictable, predictability, possibly where did the word come from? What, you know, if you have any other background into just the word itself, you know.
Well, let's just start by breaking it down. What's predictability? The ability to predict. And the funny part about it is a lot of us will take pride when somebody says, "Oh, he predicted that."
Mhm.
But then when it's turned around and say, "Hey, you're predictable," which means I'm able to predict, now it's a problem. Once again, and I know I do this, which probably alienates a lot of people, but
Mhm.
once again, these are the human traps I'm talking about.
Mhm.
Because you hear predictability, and immediately you're connecting it to the connotations that have been attached to it through its usage in this society, in this current society. But let's be honest, all our parents were predictable.
Yes.
All we come from a line of grandparents and whatever that's predictable. What's also predictable? Your traditions and your customs.
Mhm.
We coming in a time of so-called Christmas, predictable. And we know who's going to do what. We know who's going to show up. We know who's going to eat what. We know who's going to bring what. We know who's going to expect more gifts than they give. This is predictability again,
Mhm.
based on the consistency of the expectations that comes with our human brains and our human form. And then we'll reject certain things based on the aspect of, I'm sorry, I just got a notification, but just distracted me. We reject certain things based on the connotation that has already been given.
Mhm.
And then that connotation affects our ego. So now we immediately want to reject it or defend it. So now it's like, no, I'm predictable when I want to be. That was him taking control of predictability. Saying that you're predictable when you want to be, that's saying, no, I control predictability. Okay, all right, well, all right, you got it, big man, whatever the case may be. So when I did that post and that person said I was predictable, I said I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to be. Now immediately I take the energy out of that. I take the ability to be offended about it out of it. But see, that's only because I've trained myself to understand the design of a man. And a lot of us are not trained to understand the design of each other as men and women. So when we say certain things, they turn into trigger words.
Yes.
Because the whole basis of the word is connected to the connotation that Europeans have given it, or that this society that is the result. And the what's the real word I'm looking? I love specific words. The result, I'm going to use default for lack of the word I'm looking for, but by default, we adopt the energy it's been given by its misusage.
Right.
So once again, to answer your question, predictability, the ability to predict.
Now,
and go on.
I pulled it up. I'm sure you're looking at it, right? You can see it, right?
Yeah, I actually chimed out because I ain't gonna lie, I was okay. Yes, go on.
Okay, and it says behaving or occurring in a way that is expected. And that's the beauty of being predictable. Okay, because before you can get to being where we're talking about predictability, you have being predictable comes first. You have predictable, then you have predictability. Okay, there's a progression that follows with this. Okay.
Well, let me. I'm sorry. Let me because I'm glad that you pulled that up. Read the definition one more time.
It says behaving or occurring in a way that is expected. And you know what it has it listed under? And I don't think this is a synonym. I think this is an antonym category. And that's what it says. The characters were very stereotyped and extremely predictable.
Now, see, I wish you wouldn't have read that part, because if you notice, when you add that extra little layer, it brings back the negative part. But see, I wish you wouldn't have read that part. But if you
dispel it, go into it, because
no, because what I was doing was, if you notice, let's read it one more time. Read it one more time and leave out that.
Leave out the latter
leave
part.
Out the synonym. Just read the definition itself.
It says behaving or occurring in a way that is expected.
All right. Notice, what are women always saying about men today? What they are not doing, what they're incapable of. What are we talking about? The expectations of manhood, masculinity, and your function as a man to a woman.
Yes.
So if you look at it, if I'm meeting your expectations,
right,
that means my predictability falls into what you expect from me.
Right.
So now we just made it something, a good thing. So now let's revert. Now let's flip it on top of itself. Ask a woman, what do you expect from a man? I expect him to be attentive. I expect him to be respectful. I expect him to provide. I expect him to protect. Does your man do? Oh yeah, he does it all the time. Is he predictable? Is he predictable in your expectations? Absolutely. That's what makes him a good man. Is the fact that, so basically, what are we really saying? Predictability is meeting expectations.
Yes.
That's what it is. We just changed the definition and changed the energy. Predictability is a man meeting your expectations.
Exactly.
instead of what you noticed the European just did right there when you read it. Oh, they were stereotypical, blah, 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 blah. See, they always take something and then they flip it around, they distort it, they twist it, they add things to it that poison it. But what are we saying? Predictability is meeting your expectations. That's what the definition just said.
Yes.
Because the only problem is if you're always in the process of expecting the negative as an individual or a woman, and I'm predictable in your expectations, now I'm a bad man. And let's be honest, in this day and age, we're already as men connected to negative expectations. We're already expected to be quote unquote cheaters. We're already expected to be quote unquote abusive. So that's why when men hear the word predictability attached to them as men themselves, they're adding in the negative traits that's been attached to them as men. So now, yes, I get offensive now. The same way that there's certain women that get offensive when they hear the word feminine.
Exactly.
Because they know that the negative connotation or so-called negative connotation to feminine is the weaker sex.
Right.
Softer, gentler. She's not hard. You know, she's not strong. And see, today, that's a negative thing to a woman now.
Right, right.
So now when she hears that beautiful, beautiful, powerful word, feminine and femininity, she gets offended. But you talk about, I ain't blah, blah, you know, she get offended by it. So once again, this is the cultivation of the infiltration to the mind and subconscious that has boosted the ego to such an extent, it overrides your intelligence to evaluate, decode, and break down the word that you're actually hearing.
Right.
But instead react to the word based on outside connotations given to it that your ego is going to respond to. Right. Because the ego is trying to survive all the time. That's what the ego is about.
Yes.
It's all about trying to survive. That's why if you notice, certain people won't listen to other people because they're afraid that that person might change their mind. That's why if you notice, certain people won't go somewhere or do something because they don't want to be healed or they don't want to be, it's like somebody who claims that since I'm not a doctor, I can't heal them or something. Right. And so the other person's like, well, why don't you just try? Just let them. No, I ain't gonna try. I ain't gonna do. Why? Because your ego is afraid that if it does work, you're gonna be wrong. We do it all the time.
I want to interject something comical in keeping with what you just said about how we are, that with the ego won't let you go certain places or listen to certain people because it is afraid and it's always trying to hold on to why it should or shouldn't do a thing, as if it's trying to protect you. I saw another Instagram post and they had Jesus and he was getting ready to place his hand on this so-called disabled man or crippled person. And the person said, Jesus, don't be putting your hands on me. You're going to mess up my disability.
Yup. Yeah.
But I read that. I thought that is so typical.
Yeah.
You know, of the ego.
That's an interesting word you chose to use there.
Yeah.
Because a lot of us relate typical to predictability. Why don't you look up typical?
Okay.
See what that says. Because by my understanding, they almost kind of related based on how we've been conditioned to accept the word or how we've been conditioned to understand what the word is.
Okay.
So that would be an interesting correlation to make right now as we're doing this. But once again, let's keep reiterating. Predictability is meeting expectations.
Yes.
It is meeting. Go on.
It says typical, having the distinctive qualities of a particular type of person or thing.
Okay.
Now check this next one out. Showing the characteristics expected. See, that ties us right back into predictability being that I'm meeting your expectations. So it says showing the characteristics expected of or popularly associated with a particular person, situation, or thing.
Now, I want to differentiate because notice you said having specific qualities. But if you notice, predictability said behavior.
Yes. Now
You
it
see?
said distinctive.
Yeah, distinctive.
Mhm.
So we're talking about a form of something that's unique and something that's innate.
Mhm.
But when we looked at predictability, we're talking about the behavior.
Mhm.
And I want to correlate and I want to make connections because today, what's expected of a man today is based on the society that we're in that dictates his behavior. Because let's say we throw the predictability in another society. A man is expected to hunt, man is expected to kill,
Mhm.
bring home the kill. You know what I'm saying? He's expected to build a house or build a hut. You see, that's a different behavior based on a different region, time frame, era, so on and so forth.
Mhm.
That is still meeting expectations, but based on behavior.
Mhm.
When you looked up typical, it said qualities and it said distinctive qualities.
Mhm.
You know, that's a little different now. You know, but anyway, I just wanted to since you chose to use that word, I just wanted to make that correlation and connect those two. But let's stick to the topic. Once again, humans, men and women, we react and base our responses off what has been trained in us and indoctrinated in us based on the consistencies of our society.
Mhm.
So again, if men were looked at in a better light, being predictable would actually be a good thing.
Yes.
But since we're looked at in a negative light as always being some dog or abuser, once you say predictable, you go, no, I'm not. I'm not like other men. I'm not like most men. I mean, let's just be honest. Now I just hit it on the head. If I go, oh, you're just like all men. First of all, I'm supposed to be a man. So to tell me you get where I'm going, right? So to tell me, oh, you're just like all men, that lets me know that we're in a society that has created the foundation of a man to be completely associated with negativity.
Mhm.
Because you don't want a man that's like most men. Because why? Most men are bad. Most men are terrible. Come on, are we making the connections now?
Yes,
Most
yes.
men are terrible. So I
Uh-huh.
don't want a man that's like most men. But guess what? If you were in your indigenous society, your ancient society, where the majority of your men were scientists, engineers, architects, kings, you would want a man like most men.
Yes.
But you're in a society that has destroyed the man.
Yes.
So now you want a man that's not destroyed by society, which is a man that's not predictable like most men today.
Mhm. Yes. Now,
Meeting the
okay.
negative expectations put on that man. But go on, I'm listening.
I wanted to get to the second part because you already did the first part very well, and bringing the simplicity of predictability means I am meeting your expectations.
Expectations.
Okay. Second, though a lot of organizations pretend to celebrate disruptors, creatives, and unpredictable personalities, the reality is that you are much more likely to get rewarded at work if you have if you behave in more consistent and predictable manners. For instance, most people prefer to work for a boss who is predictable and consistent to the point of being boring.
Absolutely. Let me stop you now. Who the hell wants to go into a job where the one who dictates, the one who dictates what type of day you gonna have is erratic as hell?
Yes.
Who want to walk into a household where you never know what's going to happen?
Exactly.
You don't know if the house is going to be in disarray. You don't know if the house is going to be clean. You don't know if something's going to be broken. You don't know if he's going to be drunk. You don't know if you don't know what the hell you walking into. But guess what? If you know every time he walk in, he put his shoes on the left, He go grab his beer from the fridge. He go, you got everything already set up. And in actuality, it makes life much easier because you don't have to be worried about 24/7 how to conduct yourself.
Right.
And take it to another level, the predictability of a man allows a woman to be her erratic self.
Yes.
Because while I am stuck in my one directional linear design as a man to where you know everything I'm gonna do, that allows you to not worry about my responses, my reactions.
Right.
And you can be, it's just like a parent to a child. The child running around crazy, going all up, doing all this stuff, and the parents are just sitting in one spot, letting him act all crazy. And the child already know. That's why the child look at the corner of their eye when they're about to do something, because they know what their parents react to and what their parents don't react to.
Right.
So they know they have parents that don't mind noise.
Right.
But they do know they have parents that don't want them writing on the wall. So before they start thinking about writing on the wall, they go to look at their parent. To see what their parents can do. You see what I'm saying? That's the predictability that allows you to be the chaos you need as a woman, which makes the perfect combination and complementary energy from the male masculine energy of order and the female feminine energy of chaos. Now let's get to this word, because this word seems to trigger the average current female today: chaos.
Yes.
There's so many trigger words. That's one thing I'm really noticing. That's quite the shame, because there's so many trigger words today from the average female. And, you know, when we think about our grandparents and our grandmothers and the feminine elders, they weren't triggered by a lot of things. It was behavior that bothered them more than a word.
Exactly.
Today, a word will mess up a woman's entire day. She'll come out of her entire energy. She'll come out of her character. Men too, because now men are feminine. She'll come out of her entire character and everything. So let me just clear up this word chaos. Chaos does not mean that you are stupid. It don't mean that you gonna kill somebody. It don't mean none of that. What chaos means is everything simultaneously at once in all directions. That's all it means. That's all it means.
Thank you for that.
Period. When you think so fast, having a middle brain cortex that's larger than a man, your neurons are firing off rapidly. So guess what? You're thinking about 1,000 different ways you can do one thing. And guess what that breeds? Indecisiveness. Okay. So now you're looking at your closet and going, oh my God, well, I got this red dress, but then I got this blue dress, but then if I wear this, but then if I do that, but then they're going to be here, and then they're going to be there. Well, then it's cold tonight. Well, then it's out there. You're thinking 1,000 different things at once.
Yes.
And so now it takes you 2-3 hours to get dressed.
Exactly.
Because of the neurons going in so many different directions so fast, because that is the advancement of your brain compared to mine. My brain's going slow. My brain going, there goes a shirt, there goes some pants. It's cold outside. I'm gonna wear this shirt because this shirt is warm. And that's it. That's it. Now here come my woman. You are not wearing that shirt again. You wore that shirt 5 times in a row. Pick something else. You see what I'm saying? But once again, that's my simplicity. I'm not even thinking about how many times I wore it. I'm not thinking about my wife don't want to see me wearing it again. I'm not thinking about we going to a specific type of place that I might need to wear a specific type of shirt. And see, this is what makes couples so beautiful in the old school couples, because unfortunately today we just do not last. But if we look at the old school couples, the woman picked out the clothes for the man. She had his shoes laid out. She said, no, listen, babe, you are going to a funeral. You cannot wear that shirt. You cannot wear those, babe, we are going to a wedding. You cannot wear those this. You cannot wear that this. And guess what? The man would surrender to that wisdom.
Yes.
He wouldn't fight her. He wouldn't fight her. He'd be like, listen, just pick out what you want me to wear and I'll put it on. You know what I'm saying? But then guess what?
That is so
But guess what? But guess what? Let a man try to dictate what you're going to wear on a specific night. And it'll change. Even if you do wear it, your energy going to be fucked up the whole night. because you're not going to like it. You're going to be uncomfortable. You're going to be fidgeting. You're going to be cold. You're going to be this. You're going to be that. And then guess whose fault it's going to be? His. His. No different when I do let you pick the outfit. And guess what? Now I got to carry you over the ice because you're wearing stiletto heels in the snow. But guess what? When we get to where we get, you have a great time. You feel beautiful, and you feel impressed with yourself. But I still have to be there to be that mechanical tool to lift you into the car. I gotta give you my jacket because you chose to wear the short skirt in 20-degree weather. So now I gotta wrap you up in it. This is the complementary energy I'm talking about.
Right.
And this is the chaotic feminine that women get so offended when they hear that word. But what we're talking, and let's be honest, they get offended because they want to think that they're men. They want to think that they're logical like men. So they get offended like they're men. Oh, now why are you talking chaos? I ain't chaos, I'm order. And you're not order, you're out of order half the time. What are you talking about? So they get offended because they want to think that being a man is some form of superior aspect or being logical, which by the way is very European. Europeans think logic is superior, and it's not. Your emotions is what moves all energy. Your emotions is what creates magnetism. Your emotions is what creates empathy. Your emotions is what creates your psychic ability. Logic is just me sitting there going, I see 2 cookies. That's logic. A little child, ask a child, you want 1 cookie or 2 cookies? The child gonna look up in the air real quick and they gonna go, I want 2.
Right.
That's logic. That don't mean the child's smart.
Right.
That just means the child recognized that 2 is more than 1.
Right. Right.
So we have adopted the European notion that logic is superior, that the brain is superior. And as we already know, our ancestors ripped the brain from the nose and threw it in the trash.
Right.
So let's cut that out. The heart was preserved. The heart was weighed against the feather. The heart was put in Coptic jars to last for thousands of years. They didn't preserve the brain. You see what I'm saying? But once again, we are going by, and this is how you know for a fact we go by European standards and notions, because we worship the brain. So when I tell a woman, listen, you're really not prone to logic. Why? She starts snapping on you immediately because she's taking offense to something that is supposed to be superior to her emotions. Because Europeans taught you that logic is superior to emotions. Logic is nothing but a tool.
So are we supposed to master logic? Or are we supposed to master? Because we hear it all the time in the conscious community, about mastering our emotions. So are we mastering logic, or what are we mastering within the realm of predictability?
Well, first and foremost, we need to eliminate that word, because you can't master logic, you utilize it. That's like telling me, how do I master a hammer? You pick it up by the hammer, you pick it up by the handle, and you bang it on whatever you got to bang it on. You don't master a hammer. Logic is to be utilized. You're either going to use it or you're not.
Right.
Emotions are to be channeled. Okay. So you don't stop it. And that's what I tell every time I do a consultation, I'll talk to people. They go, how do I stop feeling this? How do I stop, how do I stop no, you don't want to stop your emotions. Right. That's actually how you create your own suppression. That's where depression comes from. Look at the word depress.
Right.
Your depression comes from you trying so hard to suppress something that you are. What you do is you channel the energy in motion, because that's what emotions are. Energies in motions. You channel it, you align it, you recognize it, you concentrate it, you release it, you express it. You don't pretend it's not there. You don't try to make it negative and try to push it down and act like you don't feel it. This is where the ailments come from. This is where the migraines come from. This is where the diseases come from, because anybody that studies true holistic health, they tell you that majority of diseases are connected to your emotions that are not dealt with. Cancer is connected to selfishness. That's why a lot of women get breast cancer. Right. Cancer is addicted to selfishness. Every part of the body is always correlated and related to things. See, once again, this is why it's so important to separate from European mindset, European thinking, because everything they do is linear. But if you study African science, everything is connected.
Yes.
So your big toe is connected to your shoulder. Your that sweet snack you like is connected to your lack of emotional love. That everything is connected all through the body, the emotions, the mind, the heart, the spirit. It's all, that's why it's called holistic health.
Right.
But then we look at Europeans and we go, there has to be a logical explanation for this. What do you mean? What? First of all, there's so many people who try to use herbs, treatments, surgeries to fix problems. You ever notice how people will go through 5 surgeries to get rid of a disease and it always keeps coming back?
Yes.
Because they're not dealing with the emotion that breeds the disease.
Exactly.
They're not dealing with the inner conflict that is the foundation of the disease. They keep trying to cut it out because that's what Europeans taught them to do. You got to remove, it's physical. You got to remove the physical. It's a physical thing. No, the physical thing comes after the mental. The physical thing comes after the feeling. Sound like you wanted to say something.
No, I was just letting you finish with that as we get ready to go into this other reading from your post.
Go on.
It says, scientific research has also, I love when they don't tell us who the scientific research. Anyway, scientific research has also linked the need for uniqueness to narcissistic tendencies, and alarmingly shows, because now you had your own personal reasons why you made a whole lesson out of this post. So and that's why I wanted you to come on the show. I allowed some other male friends of mine to give their own backdrop into what predictability is and how it makes a man dependable. You're the originator of the post, so it was very important for me and the Deborah Show to get you on here to address your post. So, scientific research has also linked the need for uniqueness to narcissistic tendencies, and alarmingly shows that the tendency to see ourselves as unique and special has been rising significantly during the last few decades, particularly among U.S. college students.
Now, to me, that relates to the feminine side, the polarity. Because if you notice, a man doesn't have to feel special or really be unique or different. I'm gonna relate it to you right now. Let your behind go to a damn party and see a woman with the same dress. Come on now. Come on now. That's you recognizing that you are no longer unique. Because if you go somewhere and you think you are looking your best, and you see some woman walk in looking exactly like you ain't unique no more.
Right.
And once you take away the uniqueness, you take away the specialness of it. So when you read that part, it to me, it's the polarity of the simplistic perspective, because usually people who are unique are forms of eccentricism.
Okay.
They're eccentric.
Yes.
And they're usually not very predictable either.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Yes. So we're right now, the post is correlating right now. You know what I'm saying? And everything in existence has a polarity. And that's another thing as humans, we don't want to recognize, we don't want to acknowledge. Everything has evil, has a good and a bad side. Murder has a necessity and an unnecessity. You know what I mean? Just like we talked about before, ass whoopings. Yeah, you should never touch nobody. Yeah, but there's a time where, guess what? If that boy didn't feel that pain before they did something that could take their life, they would have did it again and lost their life.
Right.
So there was a necessity to some extent, which is the polarity to the other aspect of building trauma. Because the polarity is, oh, well, it's going to traumatize them. The polarity of that is, well, if I don't do it, they might die from doing something dumb. You see, so right there, we're discovering the polarity, because predictability, that ain't got nothing to do with being unique. When somebody's predictable, they're meeting all your expectations because you already know what they are.
Right.
and they're conducting themselves in a way that's really not different from anything that you're expecting.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's why they're able to meet their expectations. That's why if you notice, when you are around unique people, they're always surprising you. You're always like, well, damn, I didn't, wow, like, whoa, that's you too? You're like, whoa, damn, you do that too? Wow, I did not expect that. You see what I'm saying? And that's what makes them unique. And now in your mind, because they're so eccentric and they're so unpredictable, they have now become special.
Yes.
And that's it. And now I'm glad that I'm saying this, because now this also connects to another negative connotation with predictability. It don't make you special. And that's why, to me, it's a flag when I hear a man get offended by that, because he wants to be fucking special.
Mm.
He wants to feel special. If you tell me I'm predictable, it means I'm not special. It means I'm not unique. Mm. So now I get offended because I want to feel special. But I'm supposed to be a goddamn man. I'm not supposed to be special. I'm supposed to be efficient.
That's right.
I'm supposed to be functional.
Mm-hmm.
I'm supposed to be useful.
Yes.
Things that are special don't mean they're useful, you know. Mm-hmm. Just because I got a diamond encrusted ring that was molded by the angels of heaven and all this craziness, what the hell am I going to do with it besides look at it? But yeah. Guess what? Guess what? It's special to me.
Right.
So because it's special, what do? I cherish it. Mm-hmm. And this is why woman's design is meant to be cherished. Mm-hmm. Because the fact that she wants to feel special, she'll usually do things to be unique in order to be looked at as special.
Right.
And then once that specialness of her is becoming the foundation and solidified, then the result of that specialness being solidified is the dictation and the result of her becoming cherished.
Right. So are you saying that when a woman, particularly when Black women tell a Black man that he's predictable, he immediately thinks that means that he's not special and he won't be cherished?
Yes. And once again, I also want to keep saying this because that's related to the feminine. So when you got a man who wants to feel special, who wants to feel, see, there's a difference between being respected and being cherished. Mm-hmm. You can respect anything, mm-hmm. but there's certain things you just don't cherish because they're not special. Mm-hmm. So absolutely, that's exactly what I'm saying, because that's an extra negative connotation that's connected. And honestly, it's really not negative. It's just basically the observational fact of that thing. If I mass produce 1 billion of the same car or the same product, then guess what? It's not special anymore. But that does not take away that it's fully functional. Right. That does not take away that it is actually an extremely efficient tool, car, machine.
Right. So people feel, when they advertise it's a special edition. Oh, yes. Yeah, I really got
what do they say, Auntie? They say only 10,000 made all over the world.
Right. Right.
Get yours right now. They broke the template. They'll never make this again. And now here come people running to collect it. And this is where collectors come from. Because guess what? They put that car in their garage for decades. Mm-hmm. Don't touch it. Don't use it. Don't let the kids near it. And you know when I'm going to bring the car out? When I go to the car show. Mm-hmm. What do we do when we get a certain type of woman? We bring her out when we want to impress people.
Right.
That's where the arm candy comes in. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? And once again, these are all these things that are related to our natures, our designs, our genders, and all that we've made a bad thing, that we've made a negative thing. And this is why we're so out of balance and so lack of so many relationships, because we've made the negative parts of our design and we made the parts of our design and functions that's by nature into negativity. Mm. So now being predictable is a problem. The only reason why being predictable is a problem, as I said earlier, is because I, as a man, am associated with problems as a general man.
Yes.
So if I'm predictable, that means I'm causing problems. Mm-hmm. But once again, I'm saying it again. If I was in a different society where majority of the man did the same positive things, I would want to be predictable.
Right.
Imagine coming from a village, and we've seen this a million times on different TV shows. You know, like let's use Coming to America. He comes from a kingdom. In his kingdom, all the men do this, all the men do that. When he comes to America, he sees a man not doing so. He said, "Wow, you're nothing like the men in my kingdom." But guess what?
Right.
All the men in his kingdom are warriors.
Yes.
So what did he just say to that person? You ain't no warrior.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But see, once again, he's saying that to somebody who grew up in America.
Right.
So since they don't know what his kingdom is, so since they don't never met a man from his kingdom, they're not even taking that as negative.
Mm-hmm.
Because they don't know no better.
Right.
But then once I take you to my kingdom and you seeing 6-7 feet tall, cut up, muscular, 6-pack, dark skin, throwing spears across the room and hitting things in a precise target. They able to run like a cheetah and jump and leap bounds, and they have all these abilities. Now guess what? You remember what I said when you was in America. And now you go, motherfucker, what did you say to me? Oh, so basically you saying I'm a bitch ass nigga that can't do none of this shit, huh? You see what I'm saying?
Exactly. So it says, so yes, we are all, now this is in the study now. So yes, we are all unique, just like everybody else. Perhaps it is time to actually embrace predictability. In fact, psychological studies indicate that there are several disadvantages to being and seeing yourself as unpredictable.
Mm-hmm. Now, once again, we going into what I just said. These expectations. Mm-hmm. These expectations what causes disappointments. These expectations is what causes forms of depression and forms of lack of confidence within ourselves when we're not meeting the expectations of being special, mm-hmm. of being unique. Mm-hmm. I got to use the same example. You feeling good as hell. You can't wait to put on that new outfit. Them shoes, everything. I mean, you know you're going to slay them. You're going to kill them when you show up. You are on top of the world until you enter the room and everybody got the same outfit on. Guess what? Guess what happens to your night? You gonna have a good night? Your night is ruined. Your night is ruined because you are on top of the world thinking that you had something special. And then bam, it gets destroyed. Now, guess what? If I'm a man and somebody shows up with the same shit, you know what the first thing I'll do? Oh shit, my nigga. Yo, you got the same shit on. I got yo, we brothers. If you notice, men do that all the time. Yo, you got the same. Yo, great minds think alike. Great minds think alike. You see what I'm saying? And once again, now we're getting to the positive ion and the negative ion, but that's good. That's getting off subject. The point of the matter is, my need not to be unique makes life much easier. Right. It allows me to accept so many more things instead of getting disappointed that they don't validate and reestablish my special and uniqueness. So you know how hard it is to disappoint me? It becomes very difficult to disappoint me now. Right. The only thing that's going to disappoint me is if my predictable things that need to be around ain't there. Right. And then here's the beautiful part. I'ma know that you did that on purpose. Because you know damn well every day for the last 5 years I did that same thing, and you gonna take it away? You did that on purpose. Right. You see what I'm saying? Because when somebody's unpredictable, you're not really sure. So you can make mistakes. You can make mistakes that are not intentional. Right. Once again, let's use the kids again. You know with your children as a parent, they know what time you come home from work. They know your routine when you come on. You take your shoes off, you run the shower, blah-de-blah-de-blah. You come home after been doing this for years with the kids watching you do this, and they got all type of nonsense in the bathroom and you can't put your shoes away. Automatically, you're like, what the hell is going on? Y'all know damn well when I come home at 5 o'clock every day, right? That bathroom needs to be ready for me to take my shower. Right. Now, guess what? You already ready to punish them kids immediately because you know for a fact they know you.
Right. Now
Because
let's
you
take
know
it,
for
but let's take it
go
one
on.
step further. In a relationship, um, and we all do this in the beginning, or most people do this in the beginning. In the beginning of relationships, you call every day, you text
Yes.
every day, you send those sweet littles, and da 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 da, and then slowly but surely, one of you stops
Yeah.
doing those things, and then when the other person ask you, what's the problem? What's the matter? You say, nothing. Nothing's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
They took something away. They knew what they were doing when they began slowly, changing up things, or no longer, as we said, predictability means I'm meeting all of your expectations.
Now I love how you just correlated, because you know what you just did?
Mhm.
You flip the polarity. Because what are you really talking about? You're really talking about when a man stops doing the things that got the woman to feel a certain way, and now that predictable now what you're really saying is his lack of predictability has now become a problem.
Yes.
You just flipped it. And that's beautiful, because now we turned it on its head from a negative thing to me stopping the positive thing about me.
Mhm.
Because you loved that every morning I sent you a good morning text.
Yes.
You loved every morning. You knew for a fact, I'm gonna get a text from him. I know when I wake up, I'm gonna see his number. I know when I wake up, I'm gonna see that message.
Yeah.
That part of my predictability was a great thing, wasn't it?
It was beautiful.
You know for a fact, every single Valentine's Day, every single birthday, you know for a fact there's gonna be flowers showing up at your job.
Mhm.
Oh, that predictability is great now, ain't it, huh?
Yeah.
Now it sounds real good, right?
Yeah.
But guess what? Soon as I stop being that predictability, now it's a bad thing.
Uh-huh.
What happened? You don't do what you used to do.
Right.
You don't say what you used to say every single morning. We used to do this every single morning. Whoa. I thought predictability was a bad thing. Notice how you read in the article. What did they say? Predictability is boring, right?
Yeah. To the point where it becomes boring. Yeah.
Where it becomes boring. But that's only based on an individual who's receiving and getting their expectations met.
Right.
Because when I stop meeting your expectations, that's when the problem comes in.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's when a disappointment occurs.
Mm-hmm.
That's when a shift of energy occurs.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I start caring less.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I stop reciprocating.
Mm-hmm.
And then here comes both of our egos pretending like nothing's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And then we drift further and further apart.
Right.
Until we stop talking to each other altogether.
Altogether.
And then when somebody comes around and asks either one of us, hey, what happened to your boo? And oh, they wasn't on my level and blah, blah, blah. Then the other person talk about, well, they wanted too much and they wanted ego.
Or we simply say we outgrew each other.
Whatever way you want to say it. But the reason why I say that is both of y'all know y'all stop something based on the other.
Mm-hmm.
That's spite.
Mm.
If I call you every day and I've been initiating every day, sending you beautiful things in the morning, and that was my initiation, and then I stop. Why don't we think, hey, let me start doing that now? But instead it's like, oh, you stop doing that? Well, you know what? I'm gonna stop talking to you altogether.
Or I'm doing it and you're not responding.
Okay, now okay. Now, because once again, I'm talking about the one who was doing it and then stopped.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking, because remember, we talked about the stopping of the predictable actions. Now, if you start doing it and I don't respond, that's just a blatant neglect. Mm-hmm. That's blatant. That's them telling you what it is without saying it. That's blatant neglect. Mm-hmm. That is neglect. They're saying, I do not want to talk to you. I do not want to, I have lost interest in you. So that's not the same thing. But what I'm saying is, instead of immediately going to the spiteful reaction or the spiteful response, why don't any of us think to take our turn in the initiation? Okay, well, it's been 5 months straight. This man has been doing this every single day for me. All of a sudden this week he stopped. You know what? How about I return the favor for 5 months like he did for me?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But we don't think like that. Especially women don't think like that, because the first thing they're going to think is something's wrong. Well, why he acting like this now? Well, you know what? I don't need him anyway. I ain't never asked for him to do that in the first place. And so we find justification in the rejection and the spite of it. Same thing with men. We'll use men, because I know a lot of times, let's use the man too. Oh, well, here comes the ego. Perfect example. A man's been doing his part, paying his parts of the bills. And I hate to say that, because unfortunately today, everything is this 50-50 nonsense. I'm a true, very old school believer that, listen, you take care of home, I'll take care of the things that allows us to have a home. But anyway, let's say y'all split the bill or whatever. He's been following that concept. Right. Every time the light bill come, every time the rent come, his shit is ready to go, yada, yada, yada. Here's what happens. Y'all get into a big fight. Guess what? He ain't got the rent. You see what I'm saying? That's the ego. That's the spite. Guess what? He not paying the cable because he don't watch your shows. So here come, I'm giving you the male version. Here come the male version of that ego where you go, babe, the cable bills due this month. I don't even watch TV. Well, what are you talking about? You've been paying the cable bill for the whole year. Oh, well, I don't need TV. You the one that need TV, so maybe you should pay for it.
Yeah.
See, that's the ego that has gotten angry at you, and now I'm dismissing my responsibilities now. That's the male version. And this is a flag, because anytime a real man will never stop his responsibilities based on how he feels about you.
Right.
That's like me not wanting to be a father no more because I don't like the mother. And we deal with that all the time today. Yes. Excuse my language, but F that B. You know what I'm saying? And the next thing you know, we stop seeing the child. You see? Now, it's a difference if she's making it a problem, but there's a lot of women that don't make it a problem, but the man just don't like her.
Right.
Or he just doesn't like that she doesn't want to be with him. Or he doesn't like that maybe she found a good man. So now he's like, what? Well, ask your boyfriend, ask your man to do that. Whoa. You want me to ask my boyfriend to take care of your son? You want me to ask my boyfriend to pay for your son's school clothes? I'm just saying, I ain't got it right now, and you got this. I know how much money he makes. I know he make money. It ain't like he can't do it. Right. See, these are the traits of that ego, human, spiteful nonsense that majority of humans are always bringing up and projecting up amongst each other, which causes further division from each other. And so now all of us are in single homes. All of us are spread out with multiple mortgages and multiple rents. We should all be in one place, paying one rent, paying one mortgage, having one bill. And see, in turn, this is what makes the system itself even more wealthy and even more powerful, because now everybody got to get a damn job. Even the kids got to get a damn job.
Yes, separate.
You see what I'm saying? So, sticking to the topic, uniqueness makes you feel special, which in turns deals with predictability, taking away that uniqueness. So those are the polarities that research has brought to the table on this topic. The feminine wants to feel unique. The feminine wants to feel special. She wants to be the only one with that hairstyle. She wants to be the only one with that dress. That's another thing. She don't want to be compared.
She wants to be the only one cherished.
Exactly. The man who is a real man don't care about being special. What he cares about, not breaking his routine. Because once he breaks his routine, he's disrupting his design. Babe, whoa, babe, where's the TV? Oh, I forgot to tell you, I threw it out. What? You know, when I come home every day, I need to watch the news and then my game.
Right.
How you gonna do that to me? Oh, I just figured maybe we should just talk. You know what I'm saying? So I know that you did that on purpose. But see, when you come home and you're erratic and stuff, I'm not sure what to expect. So when I do make a mistake, it's a genuine mistake because I'm not sure what energy you're in.
Right.
I'm not sure if you're the same woman on Tuesday that you are on Wednesday. So this is why I always got to prepare men. This is why I teach men all the time. Men always have to be in a state of understanding when it comes to the woman. We always got to be constantly re-understanding, and knowing that she's not one thing forever. So we can't keep it. Huh?
I said ever and ever and ever and ever.
She's not one thing forever.
True.
You can't. You can have your. Let me give it to you another. Let me give it to you, and anybody here that's going to understand what I'm saying. You as a woman, you got your favorite pair of earrings. You got your favorite dress. You got your favorite outfit that you love to death. I mean, you gonna hold on to that outfit forever. It means so much to you. But guess what? If I align your whole closet with that outfit alone, you gonna die. You gonna die. If I make you wear that outfit that you love so much every single day for the rest of your life, that's gonna be hell. But guess what? Your grandfather wore the same shoes, the same sports jacket, the same work jeans every single day. And it didn't bother him at all. Because he didn't need the variety that creates the uniqueness. Because the feminine needs variety to put combinations together to create something unique. Because you can create uniqueness with average everyday things.
Yes. If
you just tap into your feminine creativity.
Yes.
But unfortunately today, majority of females are consumers. So they just buy. You know what I mean? They're not looking at, well, you know what? I got that old shirt that don't fit me no more. You know what? I could cut it and I could make it into a skirt. Or you know what? I could do that's not around like that anymore, like it used to be. Like Big Mama used to know how to make centerpieces out of crap that wasn't worth nothing. Right. But she could put something together. You walking like, damn, babe, where you get this? Oh, I just made that real quick. You made that? What? Oh no! You remember your shoestrings? I took those, and then I took this, and then the kids had the so and so grew out of those pants, so I cut up those pants, and then I sliced them, and I shaped them like a square, and then you like, well, damn, you know what I'm saying? But that's the feminine creativity that's missing today, right? Because the man is production and duplication. The woman is creation through expression. Yes. Today, all of those things are jumbled and mixed and whatever. And now you don't even have the time to be creative because you're too busy being productive at work. Right. You see? Doing something like a machine every day, punching a clock at the same time. Let's be honest, work is predictable. Yes. Coming today.
Trying to be equal with the man.
Say that one more time.
Too busy trying to be equal to men.
Absolutely. Or better yet, just trying to be a man in general, because I don't even think women want to be equal. I think that because of this European society that has really drilled into all of our subconscious, every single one of us, men and women, all of our subconscious, that everything that's patriarchal, everything that's masculine, everything that's logical is always at the top. So I don't even think that you want to be equal to a man. You just want to be the best man. But you're not understanding that the traits and the characteristics that you are placing as the supreme aspect is the masculine energy. And it makes you more masculine the more you practice it. It makes you more masculine the more you live it. It makes you more masculine the more consistent you are, because you embody the energy until you become it. Right. Now you walking different. You're talking different.
Yeah.
You don't like the same outfits anymore. You don't get your hair done no more. You don't care what you look like anymore, just like a man. Because if you notice, a man usually has to get cleaned up by a woman to a certain extent. Woman comes along like, babe, you do know you should not be wearing black socks with so and so and so. What are you talking about? These my lucky socks. These my good socks. Babe, you do know you gotta wash those every week, right? They're not even dirty. Look, they don't even smell. They don't smell. Do they smell? I don't care if they smell. They need to go into the laundry every week. See, this is the beauty of the compliment of us when we are in our designs.
Yes.
Because as a man, I'm surrendering to your feminine wisdom. As a woman, here comes the trigger word. Here comes the trigger word. As a woman, you're submitting to my masculine knowledge. Surrender is me giving up resistance.
Yes.
All right, let's get married. God, okay, all right. All right, listen, all right, I'm gonna get it for you, okay, all right. That's surrender. Submission is a gift. It's given. It's given. It's like, dang, oh my God, what, babe, you did this for me, you did that for me. Oh, you just break down in his arms. Just break down. And it's a given. There's no fight. That's why if you notice in war, they say surrender. That's why it's a masculine version, because you only surrender after you lose the battle. Submission, there is no battle. Submission is what you reach, or submission is what you relinquish, or what you gift. You know what? You done bust your behind and you done did all of this to me. I mean, we see it on TV shows and cartoons all the time. The superhero fights off the villain and comes and swoops down and da-da-da. And that same woman that's been rejecting him the whole movie, she falls into his arms and then that classical kiss and all of that bullshit. Yeah. That's submission.
Because he's the hero.
Because he's the hero.
Yeah.
But guess what? The whole movie, she been curbing niggas left and right. You see what I'm saying? But she submits to the hero. And that leads me to the next thing. Men are not looked at as heroes anymore.
Particularly black men the black men.
Yes, I was just about to say that. The black man is not looked at as a hero anymore. So therefore, he is not worthy of that submission. Even when he shows it, he's still not worthy because the program still exists in the subconscious of the average female. And I have to specify because I'm not talking about all, because we still got a lot of beautiful feminine women that are living by their design, by their function, by their nature, and they're embracing it. They're not fighting it. But unfortunately, the reality is majority are not like that. Just like majority of men today are very passive. They're very spiteful. Oh my God, the stories I hear. You know, you break up with him, he's going all over town, showing your new pictures and telling everybody how much a hoe you are. And he's trying so hard to just destroy your whole existence. That used to be a woman's trait. That's why they say hell have no fury than a woman scorn.
Right.
Now it's hell have no fury than a bitch nigga scorn.
Exactly. Yes.
Because he's running all over social media. He going everywhere trying to defame you and destroy you because you have grown past him, or you have realized that he is a boy in a man's body.
Yes.
So now he must get spiteful and try to destroy you. So sticking to the topic, predictability is actually meeting expectations.
Yes.
Uniqueness is the need to feel special. This is the masculine to the feminine, which is the polarity aspect. Let's go to whatever's left on that post.
The other part of the post is, which you have already been discussing it, the masculine energy is stable and more predictable. Its strengths are willpower, clarity, and focus. The masculine energy likes to create structures and rules. It is knowledge, whereas the feminine is knowing, The knowledge is static with precise dimensions and exact design. He is the master of planning and laying out the guidelines that are based on logic and experience. The masculine energy is protective. He fights for what he loves and finds the ways to achieve his goals. Now,
Yes.
you know, you and I both know the chant today is, I don't feel like I don't feel protected by the black man, and I don't feel it.
But don't forget, but wait. Don't forget, you don't need them.
True.
Don't forget that. Don't forget that.
Yeah.
Which by the way, let's link it.
Yeah.
Contradictions are results of chaos.
Yes.
I don't need no man for nothing. I got my own money. I pay my own bills. I don't need a man for this. Where were the men? We're not protected. Whoa. You said you don't need a man for anything. But then as soon as you are met with a conflict in life, as soon as you're met with an opposition, as soon as you're met with something that is against your nature, your anatomy, and your design, and you feel that, you know, because y'all know what y'all are, y'all know what y'all not, but unfortunately, that subconscious is indoctrinated. So you just pretend that it's not the case. You taking pictures with looking like Popeye and shit and all, you flexing in pictures now. I ain't never seen a photo from the 50s and the 60s of women flexing their biceps. I'm talking regular black women. I'm talking about all the celebrities, notice Foxy Brown, all the celebrities from the 70s, the 60s, and the 50s. I've never seen them taking pictures where they're flexing their bicep. If you notice today, you'll find women doing that all the time. Flexing their bicep, flexing, that is the epitome symbol of the masculine. And they waving that bicep around every chance they get now. Yeah, we can do it. You see? But then here's the thing. Chaos create contradiction. Now, why does chaos create contradiction? What did I just say earlier? All directions at one time.
Yes.
So one direction is, I don't need a man. Next direction is, where's a man to provide and protect? You're going in two directions at once. Chaos.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? So now, to get to what you're saying, here comes the stability. And I actually, I did another post because another brother who I do know personally, you know, he was saying that, who's, by the way, now, before I even explain this, the proper balance within each one of our vessels is not 50-50.
Right.
That's another gigantic misconception, which is absolutely ridiculous. You're not supposed to be exactly 50% masculine, exactly 50% feminine. You're not a hermaphrodite. Okay. You're supposed to be 70 to 80% feminine, right brain, emotional, empathic, psychic, so on and so forth. The 20 to 30% is your masculine. The 20 to 30% is when you do not have your tool within reach. And you must become the tool for that circumstance and moment.
Yes.
Unfortunately, the 20-30% has grown to 40-50-60%. Why? Because ain't no man there. And you're going through years and years and years without a man. So now you're actually becoming one. But now there are men out there who are way more feminine. They have that 40, 50, 60 in the femininity. So the brother was like, oh, you know, because, you know, I don't want to say too much, but some brothers go through things with their women because their women are noticing their feminine traits. And their feminine traits is what? Every time I get around you, it's like walking on eggshells. I don't know what's going to happen. Hello? Unpredictable. Yes. Unpredictable. I mean, it's like, now this is me hearing women telling me this in consultation. It's like, when I come home from work, I'm not sure what side I'm going to get from him. I don't know if he's going to be angry. I don't know if he's going to like me. I don't know if he's going to be happy. I don't know if he's going to be upset about something else. I don't know if he's going to be moody and not say nothing to me. I don't know if he's going to give me the silent treatment. I don't know what to expect when I get home.
Is this what could also be causing some of the domestic violent tendencies that black men are starting to exhibit
Absolutely, because everything is within the laws of cause and effect. It's only to the degrees you allow it to reach. As we see today, we started at 1 degree of independence in the 80s and the 90s. If you look at women, they had movies like Waiting to Excel, The Women of Brewster Street, The Color Purple.
How Stella got her
groove back. These are the templates that indoctrinated the subconscious of the women and those eras. And what happens is it started little by little. And the longer it went uncorrected, guess what? Now you got women talk about embrace your hair and your furry armpits and your furry legs and don't shave and don't shower and don't, whoa, what the hell? So wait a second. Being liberated as a woman means escaping your femininity? So what exactly are you liberating yourself from? You're liberating yourself from actually being a feminine woman. You're not liberating yourself from me. You're liberating yourself from your design, your function, and your duties as a feminine woman, because the feminine woman is the mistress master of hygiene. It's the mother that teaches the children how to wash correctly. It's the mother that teaches the children how to bathe their parts of their body and how to groom themselves properly. That's her job. So now we got women talking about, well, you don't need to tweeze and you don't need to shave and you don't need to do your hair and you don't need to do so then what are you doing? What are you? That's like men having a movement where they're like, you don't need to pay bills, you don't need to protect, you don't need to teach, you don't need to, I mean, and you know, the funny thing is we're not using intelligence because we don't see the polarizing aspect of that. Right. You make a long list as a woman of all the things you don't need to do. But then you're not understanding. Once you relieve all those responsibilities, men pick them up. So guess what? Now he's tweezing his eyebrows. Now he's trying your makeup. Now he wants to make sure his clothes don't get dirty. So now, no, he don't want to get dirty. He don't want to work hard. Because guess what? If he got to get down and go check that car in that oil, he going to get his hands dirty. So now you're like, well, can't you call a mechanic? Can't you call somebody to do that? And the next thing you know, you got the woman, well, get out of the way. I'll do it my damn self. And now she's under the hood. Now she's pumping her own gas.
Yeah.
Now she's rotating her own tires. Now she's changing her own tires. We see this shit every day.
Yeah.
We see it every day. We are losing parts of our design and our function that is making us grow further and further and further away from each other, while white people give us the replacements for each other. Whether it's a damn tranny, whether it's a white man for a black woman, or whether it's a homosexual for a black man. They're giving us the replacement to our complements and our polarity. Now, back to what you said. Since the man is becoming more feminine and is losing his composure over his emotions, but yet his anatomy and his biology is still full of testosterone. Let's be honest now, and I'm speaking to all the ladies who might see this and might not see this. How often do we watch all of these cheating shows and all that stuff, right?
Right.
When a man gets caught cheating, what's the first thing a woman starts doing to the man?
You know, I don't watch those shows.
Okay, even better. Have you never seen movies? You know who Tiffany Haddish is?
No.
You don't know who Tiffany Haddish is? Okay, all right. So I gotta relate this.
Yeah.
If you notice, the first thing women do when they catch a man cheating is they hit on him.
Yes.
They start smacking him in the head.
Cut up his clothes.
Yes.
Destroy
they get
his
violent.
car, bash his
They just had. Yeah. I just saw a video where this woman blew up this man's car.
Yeah.
She poured gasoline in his back seat, threw a match, and blew up his car. She almost blew herself up. See, this is my point. The woman is justified in her violence if she feels hurt. You ever notice that?
Yes.
You ever notice when you watch a movie, right? And I know, and this ain't got nothing to do with it because you see this in the old movies. And let's say a man says something you don't like, you throw a drink in his face. You see? Let's say a man whispers something nasty in your ear, you smack him in his face. But wait a second. If you say something to me that I don't like,
as a man,
Can I smack you in the face?
No.
If you say something to me, or if you do something that I feel is disrespectful, can I throw a drink in your face?
No.
Because guess what? I won't be looked at as a man, right?
Mm-hmm.
But wait a second. We're equal. We equal, right? See, there is behavior
Right.
that's accepted by the feminine that's never accepted by the masculine.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody wants to talk about that. Nobody wants to talk about that when a man breaks your heart, you're allowed to destroy his entire life.
Right.
Nobody talks about when a man breaks your heart, you're allowed to burn down his house.
Throw a brick.
Nobody talks about you can do any psychotic, violent thing you want. But wait a second. If you break a man's heart and he smacks you, he's the devil for the rest of his life. Am I lying?
Nope.
People might not like how I'm saying these things, but we all know it's a reality. There's things that women can do to men that are violent and that are abusive, and everybody in society just accepts it. We watch women commit assault on TV. All these reality shows, Love and Hip Hop and all this stuff, as soon as they find out something, as soon as they go through a phone, find a text message, bam, pop, 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 pop. All these fists is flying, they hitting, they slapping, nails is popping off, all this type of stuff. But guess what? Why doesn't anybody call that assault?
Right.
Isn't that what it is technically? Because guess what? I don't care how you feel. Once you put your hands on me, that's assault.
Right.
But we live in a society where a woman is justified in her behavior based on how she feels. Men are not allowed to do that. Now, I'm relating it now. I'm connecting it. Today, men are more feminine. So you just asked me earlier, does this relate to now the rising in abuse? Yes, it does. Because now, not only do I think I'm equal to a woman like a bitch, but I'm also feeling justified in beating this woman because she said something I feel is disrespectful. Because she did something that broke my heart. But remember, men are not allowed to use a broken heart to abuse somebody.
Right.
But a woman can burn down your whole house and say that she did it because you broke her heart. You see what I'm saying? And women will support that. They'll be like, well, you know, he shouldn't have did what he did. But I ain't never heard nobody say, oh, she got her ass beat. What did she do?
Right.
Oh, he smacked the hell out of her. Well, she must have did something. But when we hear a man getting his clothes cut up, when we hear a man getting his car blown up, when we hear a man getting his face up, matter of fact, a girl, I forget what city it was, but just recently a girl shot her boyfriend in the head. This is a recent story that just happened a few weeks ago. She shot her boyfriend and killed him in the head because he was cheating. You see what I'm saying? We are getting to degrees and levels because nothing is being checked. And when somebody like me comes along and actually starts applying order, nobody likes me. Nobody wants to listen to me because I'm actually saying that. But guess what? You can't debunk me. You can't prove what I'm saying is wrong, but you just don't like me. And you're going to cut me off and reject me and not listen to me because I'm actually being the order that's missing from today's society. And I'm going to be labeled as controlling, abusive, so all these different things. But yet you're allowed to be chaotic, and that's labeled as empowerment. You're allowed to be promiscuous, and that's labeled as liberation. You see what I'm saying? There's no order to the chaos. They both need each other. Because without your femininity, and without you needing me as a man, I have no purpose as a man. And now all I become is a sperm donor.
Right.
So now you have made me obsolete by claiming not to need me and then turn around and wonder why I do nothing for you.
Right.
That doesn't make any sense. You can't teach me I'm not needed and then wonder why I'm not useful. That's what I've been indoctrinated with. So in a nutshell, the men who are abusing women is a mixture with their feminine energy and their testosterone and masculine anatomy and body. because we all know certain women can only inflict a certain level of pain because they're just not built physically to truly hurt you. That's why a lot of men will be laughing when women are hitting them. It's the truth. Yeah. I've been there plenty of times.
Right.
You know, women just, they just react, and they start doing a little windmill thing, and they start trying to hit on you and stuff, and you just like, come on, cut it out, cut it, stop it. You know what I'm saying? And you're not even taking it to that level. But if it was a man, you knock his ass the hell out. Now that's the masculine man, though. Here's the feminine man. You put a hand on him, he throw your ass out the window.
Hey, yeah.
Because he reacted in the moment, separating the logic to going, wait a second, this is a female. Let me grab her wrists, let me put them to her sides, and let me hold her tight so she can stop assaulting me so I won't have to defend myself. That's what a masculine man does. And then he'll toss your ass on the bed. And then he'll walk out the door. The feminine man is going to beat you till you probably almost dead. Because he can't stop how he feels. That's driving his physical masculine anatomy and testosterone. So he might hit you so hard, not realizing your delicacy as the feminine, that he puts you in a coma. That might have not been his intentions, but because in the moment he was emotional about the situation, and his emotions drove a physical reaction that testosterone gave a boost to, now you're in a coma.
Right.
And nobody cares. Nobody gives a damn what you did. Nobody cares. They just know that this man need to die or he need to go to jail. So this is the society we live in, and we're so heavily infected. We're so heavily infected by European standards. We're so heavily infected by thinking logic is superior. We're so heavily infected by thinking hard work is some form of success. Success is having the freedom to not need to work. But we associate having a career and working 40 hours a week to what we're supposed to be doing, or what is successful in our lives. The woman is supposed to be doing her passion to receive compensation. That's her job. That's why I tell my polarity, I want your passion to be your job. I don't want your job to be your function. I don't want your job to be your obligation. What you're passionate about and what you can do, whether you got paid or not, that's what a woman is supposed to do. Something that you would do for free anyway. You see? But now you getting up to punch a clock to go to somewhere that you can't stand. You getting up to punch a clock on a Tuesday when your menstrual just came, you in so much pain, you got cramps, you got aches, but guess what? If you don't get up to go to this job, you're going to be fired. And you got obligation. You know why you got obligation? Because there ain't nobody there to have your back. Ain't nobody there to say, baby, don't worry about it. If you lose your job, don't worry. You'll get a new one. I'll pay everything until that happens. Nobody's there to do that. So now you have to force yourself through your own femininity by sacrificing your femininity.
And this is what a predictable man
would do.
Yes.
Immediately.
In continuing to fulfill and go beyond your expectations as a feminine.
Yes.
That's where then you value that he is the protector, the provider, the leader, in combination with the female in the household.
And let's also connect this, because as you just said that, when we say the words providing, I don't even think we understand that providing is not something that's exclusively financial.
Right.
When I hear the word providing, the word that pops in my head right along with it? Consistency. When I hear the word predictable, the word that comes right along with it? Consistency. Because when somebody's predictable, the only reason why they're predictable is because they're consistent within that behavior.
Right.
Oh, I know he gonna handle the bills no matter what I do. You know, it's a great show to associate this with. Everybody Hates Chris. You ever seen that show?
Yes.
Okay. What's her name? Rochelle, who actually is just like my mother. Rochelle would quit every job she gets. You know why? My man got 2 jobs. I don't need this. My man got 2 jobs. Why? Because she knows that I forgot what his name is on the show, but she knows that her husband is predictable.
Mm-hmm.
She knows that her husband is always working, consistent, and she knows that the combination of that predictability and consistency makes him dependable.
Right, right, right.
So she don't have a problem quitting a job as soon as she feels like it.
Mm-hmm.
Because guess what? My husband got 2 jobs. But then let's fast forward to the current man who's always losing and quitting his job.
Mm-hmm.
Just like Rochelle does. Every 5 seconds, I can't work here no more. They're disrespectful. What are you talking about? All you got to do is get up and do your job. Who cares what they're saying? No. They're too disrespectful. All right, so now what you going to do? Oh, I'm going to find some. I'm fine. Wait till I get on my feet. Now you got a nigga sleeping on your couch. And you the one that's consistent in your job. And you the one paying the bills for the next 3 months. And he's still looking for work. Nah, I can't work here. Too many people know me. Nah, I can't do that. That's beneath me. Nah, I can't do that because they gonna be too disrespectful. Cutting out all the things. A man gets up and does what he needs to do no matter what he feels like. That's why he's a machine. That's why he's a tool. He puts his feelings aside to get the job done, which, by the way, a lot of y'all women have to do today.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what makes you more masculine.
Mm-hmm.
You start putting all your feminine traits aside. You start putting all your feminine energy aside. You start putting all your feminine feelings aside so you can get up, punch that clock, get that check, and make sure you still have a roof over your head for you and your children.
Yes.
And after 5 to 10 to 15 years doing that, you literally become the energy and the embodiment of a man.
Mm-hmm.
And then guess what starts to happen? Oh, yeah, you still got a vagina.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you still got breasts.
Yeah.
But guess what starts to happen? You start to attract feminine men.
Mm-hmm.
So now you're wondering, like, what's going on? Every time I meet a man, you know, he's always like expecting the same things I'm expecting, or he's always tit for tat, or he's always like, you know, whining about something or whatever. All these men are the same. No, your energy is gravitating those men
Mm-hmm.
that fit the frequency that make those men consistent in your life.
Mm-hmm.
I tell women all the time, I guarantee you, if you are in a relationship with a bitch nigga right now, become the most girliest, feminist, neediest thing you can ever be, and he will disappear tomorrow. He will disappear tomorrow.
Yes. Yes.
Because effeminate men don't want a feminine woman. A passive man don't want a passive woman.
Mm-hmm.
A submissive man don't want a submissive woman. Because submission actually makes me responsible.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why submission is actually power. And that's the thing women don't understand. Because it's your submission that makes that man responsible for everything in your life.
Yes.
So guess what? When something go wrong, your fault, nigga. Your fault, your fault. You in control. You in control. It's your fault. But now if you notice, women are in control, but they don't want the blame. Ain't that some funny shit? You the one raising all the kids by yourself.
Right.
You the one taking care of the house all by yourself. Right. If I walk into your house and it's dirty and it's filthy, mm-hmm. If all your kids is raggedy and messed up and doing bad things, and you don't want to be the blame and you the sole controller, yeah. How does that make any sense?
Right.
But as soon as a man who's given control, mm-hmm. he can never deny that it's his fault.
Right.
And immediately he takes accountability and he rectifies the situation. Mm-hmm. Once again, chaos results in contradiction. I don't need nobody to control me. I control everything. I'm under control. I got this. I got this. Well, guess what? So-and-so and so just got fucked up. It's your fault. Wait a second. Wait, hold up. You know, if you didn't, whoa. Aren't you in control? No, no, no. You flipping my words. You're twisting my words. You're twisting my words. You're twisting my words. What?
Mine's Ascension.
I know what the hell I'm talking about, and that's why motherfuckers don't like me.
Yeah.
I know why they don't like. I know why humans don't like me,
Mhm.
and it's okay because I'm here for a purpose. I'm here for a divine person. I'm an activator,
Yes.
and it's the handful, not the majority. It's the handful that are gods.
Right.
It's the handful that are divine. It's the handful using intelligence.
Mhm.
The rest of the humans use belief. The rest of the humans use emotions. The rest of the humans have expectations. The beauty about what I teach is once you peel away all those layers of preferences and expectations, the only thing that's left is energy.
Mhm.
And then you recognize what energy you're dealing with, and then you'll know the function.
Mhm.
Once you know the function, you'll know the design. Once you'll know the design, you'll know the treatment.
Mhm.
So once I meet a man and I go, oh shit, he has feminine energy.
Mhm.
Guess what? You're already gonna know what to expect from him.
Mhm.
You're gonna know he's gonna be a little vain.
Mhm.
You're gonna know he's gonna need just as much as you. You're gonna know he's gonna have the times where he's gonna complain. You're gonna know that there's gonna be days where he's gonna be moody and you don't even know why.
Mhm.
So now that you already understand that, it's hard to get upset about it
Mhm.
because it's already understood.
Right.
So if I already know what a woman is by her energy, her design, and her nature, how can I get upset when she responds like her energy, design, and nature?
Mhm.
The only way that I could get confused is if she responds like a man. And that means I misread her energy anyway.
Mhm.
So, once again, predictability is meeting expectations. Predictability is what creates a stable foundation because you can't be predictable without being consistent. Let's drown that word in the positive connotations.
Right.
You can't be predictable without meeting a woman's expectations.
Mhm.
You can't be predictable without having consistency within your actions and your behavior to what is expected of you, to your purpose,
Mhm.
and to your, what's the other word I'm looking for? That's kind of like purpose. But regardless, you're meeting expectations. You're being
Would you say that would be intention?
Yes, you could use that too. That wasn't the one I was thinking about, but you could use that too. Intentions as well. What's enough? So we got meeting the expectations.
Mhm.
We got the consistencies
Mhm.
that create the because you can't be predictable without consistency.
Mhm.
It don't make no sense
Mhm.
because it's the consistency of your behavior that has now given you the label of being predictable.
Mhm.
And consistency is what women need today.
Mhm.
They need somebody who's going to consistently pay that bill.
Mhm.
They need somebody that's going to consistently be dependent on.
Mhm.
They need somebody that's going to consistently be in an energy that when she's out of her energy, he can reassure her because he's still stable in his own emotion.
Mhm. Mhm.
So predictability is meeting the expectations. Predictability is being consistent within your words, within your behavior, within your actions that make you that great man. So predictability is what makes you stable and creates a foundation for a woman to stand on and depend on and to say, my man got 2 jobs and
Mhm.
be able to walk out of her job.
Mhm.
Predictability is what makes a man dependable.
Mhm.
Have I connected it?
You did well, and we're nearing to wrapping it up. However, you have
Let's knock them out. Let's knock them out. Let's go.
we're gonna knock them out because you're asked on your post. You also included some questions. Um, are you unpredictable? Do you randomly quit jobs for emotional reasons? Do you change your mind a lot? Is your words consistent with your actions or behavior? Do you say something in the beginning of the day, then say exact opposite later? How often do you contradict yourself? Are you the chaos in the relationship? Do you expect people to treat you a certain way? How often do other people get confused by you? Have you ever been called bipolar and have many times? Can you admit you're emotional?
That's all of them.
That's all. That's all of the ones that
So
we're going to post.
let's talk about this one, confusion.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what? Can you be confused by a predictable man?
No.
Let's add that into the good side.
Uh-huh.
Let's add that into the positive connotations. A predictable man will never confuse you.
Mm-hmm.
And if he'll never confuse you, he'll never leave you wondering.
Right.
If he'll never leave you wondering, he'll never create doubt within you.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're talking about emotional stability.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're talking about mental stability.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you read those off. Because
Yes.
now we added another. So let's go down the line. Predictability is meeting expectations.
Mm-hmm.
Predictability is consistency within actions and behaviors.
Mm-hmm.
What was the third one? Because we had a third one before this one. The third one that we came to a conclusion of. No, not on the list.
Not on the list.
But we when we were bringing them up. No, I got it. Predictability creates a stable foundation.
Mm-hmm.
And then lastly, or maybe even not lastly, because the more we talk, we'll get another one. Lastly, predictability does not include confusion.
Right.
Which also means people who are confused become doubtful. People who are confused become indecisive.
Mm-hmm.
People who are confused tend to make wrong decisions.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm a predictable man, you're never confused about me.
Mm-hmm.
You always know where ooh, there's the next one.
You always know where you stand.
Predictability creates reassurance. Give it up to me, auntie. Give me something. Give me something. I need to hear something. Predictability.
That reassurance
is the basis of reassurance, because guess what? Somebody who's confused all the time, mm-hmm. somebody who's unpredictable, how can they reassure you of anything?
Right.
How do you know for a fact where you stand? Mm-hmm. Which, by the way, goes back to what you mentioned earlier with the man who every single day was sending you a text and doing these little things every day, and then all of a sudden he stopped. What happened? Confusion. Wait a second. Why did he stop? What's wrong now? Does he not like me? Is there another woman now? Is there this? Is there that? Do you feel reassured? No. Are you feeling doubtful within your relationship? Yes. You see what I'm saying now? Exactly. I think we're doing good.
Yes, yes.
I think we're doing good. So we got about what are those 6 things on it? I feel like writing this down. I think next time I'm going to have a notepad.
We have meeting expectations.
Number 1.
We have stability.
Number 2. No. Consistency comes after the front. I want to make sure we organize. So expectations are met. Number 1. Mm-hmm. Number 2, consistency. You can't be predictable without consistency.
Right.
Number 3, stability. Mm-hmm. Because someone who's predictable, they set a foundation that you never are unknown or wondering what might happen. So it's a foundation. It's a stable aspect. Number 4, what was the 4th one? We because that was the one we just discovered before the last one.
Reassurance.
Reassurance was the newest one. The one before that one. So we got 6 so far. We got 6. Meeting expectations, consistency in actions, stable foundation. Damn. Whew. It's gonna come back. We got reassurance. So we got 5 so far, but there's one that we missing that I said. We'll get it. Well, it's recorded anyway. Right. But I want it back. Foundation. What did I say then? I don't know why I can't think of it. Well, that's the 5 we know already, but we know there's 6 because when we listen to the video, we'll get the 6th one.
Right.
But so far we already got 6 positive things that come with the predictability of a man. and which makes him dependable as a man.
Right.
So you want a man to be predictable.
Mm-hmm.
And the funny thing about it is the biggest complaints I hear is that men are unpredictable now.
Mm-hmm.
You never know what to expect. You don't know what's going to make him angry and what's going to set him off.
Right.
Can you be predictable and be erratic?
No.
So in order to be, go on.
Hold on. I was just taking care of somebody. Osa chimed in to say that she was not able. She's been trying to log in. Okay. Okay. All right. Sorry for that distraction.
It's all right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's all right. Now we get into number 7. See, the more we keep talking about it, just keep getting better and better. Now we get into number 7. Can you be predictable and be erratic?
Mm-hmm.
You can't, because if we look up erratic.
Okay.
Let's check that out. Let's use the white man real quick.
Hold on to that thought. Erratic. Now, did I spell it incorrect or erratic? Let's go with that one. Well,
yeah, I think there is 2 erratics, right?
I thought there was 2 R's. Yeah, it is 2 R's. Okay, I must have put a C in there. Okay, there we go. It says not even or regular in pattern or movement, unpredictable.
say that last word again.
Unpredictable.
Say that one more time, Auntie.
Unpredictable.
Oh, so I guess you can't be erratic and be predictable.
Right. That's what it says. Now you go ahead and expound on that.
On a sunny day, or like the face of a goddess. Nah, Ethan going to hip hop heaven on a breast, reminiscing before Rap City went bling. Spit ridiculous flows like they're catching bows in 112. I delved into the game in 91, 12 years, a no deal and still kept it real. 2 turntables in the mic, burning incense. I like grits, girls raising the south. Knife got clout amongst the gifted. A lyrical scientist, an alchemist. Words go inside, changing molecular structure. A fly MC from Electron to Mount Paran. Yo, yo, yo. I love life, I love hip hop, and it don't stop. A 1 2 1 2, these lyrics touch the soul. I love life, I love hip hop, and it don't stop. A 1 2 1 2, these lyrics touch the soul. I love life, I love hip hop, and it don't stop. Yo, yo, not to rap hip hop, you must know the culture, the 5